Count Dracula. Good evening.
I am Dracula.
Here occurs the shocking and frightening history of the wild berserker Prince Dracula.
I am Dracula.
Count Dracula sleeps in this coffin, but rises every night at sunset. Chick is right. This is awful silly stuff.
Actually, I stole the frame from the set of Coppola's Dracula.
So now that your show's done, are you gonna finish the Dracula musical?
It all started when Dracula was murdered.
All you high school girls bleed like Dracula fucked Willy Wonka and formed a blood factory and slaughtered all those Oompa Loompas and made a bunch of Bloody Marys.
Also, the newspapers think there is a link between the Dracula murder and this cowboy caper.
You guys, Dracula might be here too.
And in 1462, when Dracula died, he made a covenant with the devil.
I know there's no such a person as Dracula. You know there's no such a person as Dracula. But does Dracula know it?
And now I have a short scene from the famous film Dracula.
And out of the mists comes Dr. Boyd in his Dracula outfit looking for his pint of blood.
Are you saying that Count Dracula is our vampire?
Yeah. As evil as Dracula was, my ancestor couldn't kill his own son.
At least don't look like Count Dracula.
He never sleeps like Dracula.
Oh, no, I saw that holy water trick on Son of Dracula.
Dracula can change himself at will into a vampire bat, flying about the countryside.
Because Dracula had no servants.
Should you escape us, Dracula, we know how to save Miss Mina's soul, if not her life.
Because Dracula is the progenitor of the vampire race.
But we can still protect others by killing Dracula.
Count Dracula wouldn't say he couldn't remember.
Count Dracula?
Oh, Count Dracula. Allow me to introduce Professor Abraham Van Helsing.
Dracula and his wives, they take the form of wolves and bats.
Count Dracula. Curious.
Count Dracula. Oh, okay.
Count Dracula. It will be a relief to see lights burning through those dismal windows of Carfax Abbey once again.
You wrote the song Turning Teeth for Jesus and the Brides of Dracula?
Dracula! Just talking about you. Favorably, of course.
Count Dracula.
Yes, that was clear.
Count Dracula.
Count Dracula.
Oh, Count Dracula. Wish we could have that long, long talk right now.
Count Dracula. Count Dracula. Yes. Castle Dracula? Yes, that's where I'm going.
Drink Dracula.
Bat.
Yes, master.
He thinks I'm Dracula.
Dracula always was bestseller.
Dracula and his brides only kill 1 or 2 people a month.
Dracula and the mouse will live here.
Dracula can't bring his children to life until the sun sets.
Dracula fears us.
Dracula finds out and follows him.
Dracula, fool.
Dracula has left me with these women.
Dracula has no reflection in the mirror.
Dracula has outsmarted us again.
Dracula! He has a cure to remove the curse!
Dracula?
Dracula thanks you.
Dracula unleashed you for a reason.
Dracula? You're reading Dracula?
Frankenstein, Wolfman, Dracula shit is over.
Field, did you ever read Dracula?
He called Dracula master.
He's the last remaining member of the Dracula family, sir.
You said Dracula knows we're here.
He walks like Dracula, with footsteps silent like death.
He's been kissed by Dracula.
He was to kill Dracula in return for eternal salvation.
Hey, Dracula! And when I see Van Helsing, I swear to the Lord, I'll slay him!
When the bell begins to toll midnight, you'll be able to kill Dracula.
Hey, Alan, who's your travel agent? Count Dracula?
Hey, Dracula, what are you doing here?
Horror movie night. Bela Lugosi, the original Dracula.
How do you do, Count Dracula?
How much do you know about vampires? Saw Coppola's Dracula.
I am Dracula.
I am Dracula.
I am Dracula.
I could see you as Dracula.
I despise Dracula more than you could ever imagine.
I did as Dracula instructed.
I especially wanted to see Count Dracula tonight.
Oh, I guess my young adult vampire series, Skitboard Dracula, is doing pretty well.
I saw Dracula, he was drinking blood.
Well, I think we just picked up Dracula.
I wasn't gonna go full Dracula on you downstairs.
Dracula? I can get King Kong.
Dracula
I'll shoot little Dracula.
From Dracula.
I'm Santa Claus, not fucking Dracula.
Count Dracula? I've had enough of this Dracula shit.
If a guy asked me out at all, and he would come over, she would wear her Dracula teeth.
If Dracula finds me.
If the two of them are killed before Dracula is vanquished, 9 generations of their family will never enter the gates of St. Peter.
In the basement of the Dracula house next door.
In the movies, Dracula wears a cape.
Is it true Murnau is filming Stoker's Dracula?
Is the tree Dracula? It appears as if Count Dracula isn't coming.
It had a name. Dracula. He was Transylvanian.
Dracula.
It was Boss! I saw Dracula!
Combination of Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman.
It's like, you know how Dracula can't see himself in a mirror?
What do you got in here? Dracula?
Let me show you my buggy bumper.
Hey, back off, Dracula!
Like Dracula.
Dracula and Robin Hood.
Listen, before we do some shit, I got some remaining shit from Dracula's.
Look at this place. It's like Paul Bunyan and Count Dracula gayed up and built a dream home.
Looks like Dracula.
Lorded over by a certain Count Dracula.
Maybe the Dracula is not a mirror at all.
Maybe you should work on the Dracula musical.
Mother was a werewolf and Dracula sucks again.
All right, move it back there. McMurphy, get your ass over here and bring Dracula with you.
Dracula is one specific vampire. I'm telling you.
God, dude, I know what you're telling me. I'm making fun of you.
Dracula, meaning son of the dragon.
No one knows how to kill Dracula.
All these things Dracula can do. Of course, I'm referring to Dracula.
Dracula done got him a little bodyguard.
Dracula's legend. All of a sudden I heard... That's the wind. It should get oiled. Listen, stop reading this thing. That's a lot of phony baloney to fool McDougal's customers. Now fold up that canvas and get busy. Come on.
Redfield will go straight to Dracula.
So who's playing Count Dracula?
Thanks, Dracula. Have some cake.
Dracula can sell cereal, but then the pair can't sell whatever.
The Adriatic Sea?
So where do I find Dracula?
Man runs around in a Dracula and a mummy outfit killing people, but he's okay.
So there are no vampires in Transylvania, no Count Dracula?
They say Dracula has a cure.
You want Dracula? Dracula?
30th May, Consul Dracula.
You're telling me we got a goddamn Dracula in here with us?
This reminds me of that film Dracula.
Strictly speaking, this is not Dracula.
Van Helsing suspects Count Dracula.
Why does Dracula have a cure? We're going to go in there and stop Dracula.
We're still trying to sort out fact from fiction when it comes to Dracula.
We've got Dracula lunchboxes.
Well, welcome, Count Dracula.
Well, here you go. Go buy yourself a beer, Dracula.
Kind of like Count Dracula.
Even if you somehow kill Dracula, Rome orders you to destroy Frankenstein.
What, that Jerry's a Dracula?
When did Count Dracula move in?
What's happened to Dracula?
Count Dracula.
Why Dracula?
Why is it so important to kill this Dracula anyway?
Yeah, I got you, Dracula, right here. I should...
Count Dracula himself.
He was looking for Dracula.
I'm scheduled to meet Count Dracula.
You ever hear of Count Dracula?
No, like Dracula.
You know those, like Dracula teeth?
Dracula, huh?
You look like Dracula's sister.
We have killed Count Dracula.
You soften them up with all that smarmy concern, and along comes Dracula here and polishes them off.
You think I'm hanging out with Dracula?
Wouldn't like that, now would you, Dracula?
Your boyfriend, the dude that looks like Dracula?
Your family spent 400 years trying to kill Dracula.
I am Dracula.